Greetings, my name is Johnny Recker, and you're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. I'd like to start our show by thanking our regular sponsor, Arknight, whose maps, props, and minis bring our game to life. I want to draw your attention to KiloWhat and her awesome show art. Seriously, go check it out. Listen, in anticipation for meeting all of you at various cons this year, we brought a ton of Demon Dayz logo stickers to hand out. Turns out 2020 had other plans. They're burning a hole in our pockets, and we hear that the post office could use the help. So here's the deal. Write us a review on your favorite podcast service, take a screen grab, and send that and an address to thesedemondayz@gmail.com. That's with a Z, just like our Twitter handle. We know that some of you folks are a few episodes behind, so our plan is to keep this promotion going until all the stickers we currently have in stock are gone. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Stay safe out there. We love you, and now, on to today's episode.
Friends, fiends, sorry I'm late, but the other tavern had amazing ale. Anyway, now that I'm finally here, you should get me a drink and I can recount what happened last with our horny heroes. The party defeated the cultist and the Aaron and retrieved yet another strange piece of machinery called a modern core. Now they find themselves getting ready to rest before entering Usurper's fall, and that's where we'll pick up, right here in these Demon Dayz.
The problem with fighting at such a late hour is that it takes a while for the adrenaline rush to subside and for sleep to take hold. In your mind, you replay all the moves you made and each enemy that you killed. Each strike of the blade against your foe repeats in your mind, as do each strike they made against you. You think about the Aaronese and everything they were tasked with delivering to the mountain, and you think about how they look similar to each other and how they may have been related. Familial matters in the Hells is a bit more complex and nuanced than the material plane, but not by much. You work through these new ideas and more possibilities, and the crackle of the campfire and the sounds of the night fade from your attention. Welcome, folks, to level 8.
Woohoo!
Sweet.
So, figure we'll switch things up and go over this a little bit before we jump right back into the action. So what's everyone got? How's everyone sitting for their HP, their spells? What's all the new stuff?
Now I have to remember what the fuck I have. What the fuck is new?
Well, I bumped up my intelligence and wisdom 1, so I've got a +1 in all of that. So I gained a +1 in a lot of skills. And I think that's all I got aside from hit points.
Okay, bunch of +1s and some hit points.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm up to a girthy 56 hit points, up from 50, so that's exciting. Even though I took Observant last time, I looked at all the feats, almost took Sharpshooter, but ended up just bumping my dex and my int. So I'm at 18 on the dex, which is a great AC bump for me. Intelligence is up to 16, which helps. Hey, so just a reminder, passive perception... 24 now. Intelligence is investigation is 24. Insight is 19. So
Jesus.
I forgot level 7. I got invasion. I've never had to really use it because I haven't really taken much AoE damage, but got evasion ready to go.
I thought you said invasion at first, and I was like, what is that special feat?
Yes, you just call forth an invasion. So yeah, the dex bump gives me a lot more roguey stuff since, my class feat doesn't necessarily, proficiency all those. So finally getting decent at stealth and lockpicking and all that other rogue shit that you're supposed to be able to do. Yeah, very exciting.
Pretty soon with that passive perception, you're going to be able to see into the other worlds, and John's going to have to introduce Cthulhu.
Yeah, I'm ready to just see that through the seams of reality, from beyond, tiny floating organisms everywhere I go.
Yeah. See, now what Roll20 or any of these services need is an ability to control what each of you see in a fog of war.
Yeah.
Because essentially, at a certain point, Johnny, for Feder, the whole map is just revealed on entry.
Yeah, I walk in, I see everything. I love it. That's why I built the character this way.
Right. like, I don't even have like roll this to find out something on my notes, because it's like, well, Feder will find it out. So no matter what, there's not really a roll needed for some of this stuff. But just wait till we get to the rogue deities, who are like rogues, and they try to hide stuff.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fuck with D&D Q.
Right. Right. Let me quickly write that down. D&D Q. But yeah, what about Taslin? How's she sitting for stuff?
Taslin went up from an awesome 52 hit points to 62 hit points. So, woo. Rolled an 8 on the die plus my con. Total 10. Right on. I'm less squishy. So, yeah, bumped up 10 hit points, and I didn't up any of my skills. I chose a feat instead. Took Warcaster.
Crucial.
Yes.
Nice.
So now I have advantage to concentration checks, and I can perform somatic components with stuff in my hands, so I can hold things and still do stuff, still tut as I'm holding things. And then I can actually use Eldritch Blast as a opportunity attack.
Oh, fun.
Which is awesome.
So instead of having to like punch them in the face, I can Eldritch Blast them now, or use
Nice.
So any cantrip that I have, I can use.
That's awesome.
And I got a couple of spells, which I think you and I, John, were talking about trying to figure out a way for her to actually learn them in game.
Okay. Yeah.
Still trying to figure out banishment, man. You gotta help me with that. And then I picked up Shadow.
Oh, look at that. There's a book on the floor.
Hey, a book that tells me how to do banishment. And then I also have Shadow of Moil now.
What? That sounds really cool.
Yeah, so Shadow of Moil is actually a necromancy spell. Flame-like shadows wreathe your body until the spell ends, causing you to become heavily obscured to others. So, shadows dim light within 10 feet of me. And, that would have been an AoE, I guess. Kinda, sorta. And within 10 feet of you. Okay, so dim light turns into darkness within 10 feet, and bright light turns into dim light.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm resistant to radiant damage until the spell ends.
Oh.
Any creature within 10 feet of me hits me with an attack, the shadows lash out, dealing 2d8 necrotic damage.
That's fun.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to storm heaven and start taking down a bunch of celestials? Is that what? That?
Yeah, that's totally what's going to happen.
So what you're telling me is that this is turning from D&D into like Persona 5.
Yeah,
Exactly.
ready. Let's do it.
Yep, they'll never see it coming. All right. So that's really cool. So yeah, with that said, we can jump right back into the action, which has just ended, actually. And you guys find yourself at the turn of the day. It's 1 a.m., 7 reindeer. And yeah, you guys have done some work putting bodies together into piles and starting to burn some, starting to move some, giving up on some because why? And yeah, you guys have this area, this camp that you've just demolished to yourselves for the time being.
So is the weird little Modron thing still looking around? Like, what's going on with that? Did we put it in the bag? Did we get it? Like, what's going on? There's a Modron core, right? Just...
Yep. Modron core just sitting right there. And I don't remember if one of you grabbed it. So if not, it's just sitting right there.
No, we killed the thing and it went rolling, and that's the last that we touched it.
All right. So yeah, it is just sitting on the ground. The eye is still darting back and forth, just like whoop, whoop, moving left and right, up and down, fairly erratically, but not in like a panic. Just.
I want to start leafing through. Did I leaf through these papers at all? The instructions.
Yeah, and you determined that there was some plans for the altar, a revised version called a Modron Siphon. A Modron Siphon. And you also determined there were some other things, plans for a construct servant called a Nimbus that you discovered through some of those notes as well. And it was very IKEA style. You plop the core in the torso and all the pieces are modular and can be removed, and that they can help you with things. But that's as far as the notes go on that. And you kind of figured from that some of this stuff was being delivered, and maybe the modern core was like the last piece.
Right. All right. And we didn't see any more modern pieces around the camp, right? I didn't see.
Nope.
Okay. Well, do I see in the modern siphon, do I see where those 2 plates that we got rid of would have fit in, theoretically? Like, is it look like IKEA furniture, John?
Yeah. It the instructions definitely do. They have that vibe of just the IKEA pieces being placed together with no actual text to explicitly state it. But yes, you do recognize, at least you recognize the 2 pieces in the way that, like, you have to look at it a couple times and be like, is that the right piece? Is that letter C on the board? No, that's a B. No, that looks like a C. It takes you a second because the drawings are vague, but you get that, yeah, the 2 pieces you removed are crucial pieces to the siphon.
Well, I wonder what the modern siphon does that's different from the altar that we were on.
I'm going to walk over to the core and pick it up.
Okay. The eye on the modern core focuses on you, Yusuf, and stares directly at you.
Into your soul.
Can you understand me? I'll say in common.
The eye doesn't respond to you, and for a while you wait for any sort of like twitch, and nothing. You know the eye was like looking down at your mouth. It watched your mouth, but if it had any sort of response, there's nothing really you can tell from it.
Does it have a lid? Can it blink, or is it just an eye?
It is just an eye. There's no lid for blinking. So you get the sense that it registered that you were saying something or that you were communicating with it, but it was not able to parse it in its current state as just a core.
If you can understand me, look up.
It stares directly at you still.
I'll say it in Infernal.
Still the same. It just looks directly at you.
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah, and Yusuf, from that, you kind of infer that, if anything, the headpiece or some pieces more need to be put together for this construct for it to regulate and synthesize communication.
Okay.
It seems like so. And John, there's a place for said modern core to fit into the altar.
Not the altar.
Not the altar. It's just for the side. It's just for the nimbus.
Right. Correct.
All right. Well, look, it's a My Little Buddy. So I guess I'm not going to be able to see it with that thing fucking staring at me. So do you want to just tuck it in the bag and maybe we can piece its arms and legs together as we go forward? I don't know. We shouldn't just keep it out. I have a feeling that much like the plates, that's something that they could try to ping off of, when they realize what's happened here. So,
yeah.
I feel a little pooped. I'm not dying. Thanks for the top off, Yusuf. But do we want to rest down here for the evening, or do we want to get a little bit farther away from the fucking carnival of destruction that we've wrought on these poor bastards?
Well, I wouldn't exactly want to be caught unawares while we're sleeping in a place where we massacred so many of these cultists.
Yeah, do we want to, what do we want to do about that? Do we want to fuck these, do we want to light a pyre and burn them all? Hold on, I've got an idea. I'm going to take out my forgery kit and I'm going to write up an infernal. I'm just going to write, never disappoint us again. We'll be back. And I want to tack that up on the tree as if the Aranus had signed it. As if the cultists fucked up. Let's make a pyre of the bodies, right? And then it'll look like they got mad and left their post. I don't know. We can kind of make the scene look, I don't know.
What are we going to do with the Aranus bodies, though?
Are they still there, John, or did they disappear back to Dis?
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't think you told us.
That's always tricky. Their stuff was obviously there. We went through it, but that's always the question, right? Is do they poof back to the hells, or are the bodies still there?
I don't see anything immediately. So for For these ones in particular, no. Their bodies didn't disappear. For whatever reason, if it turns out that Araneas do disappear,
Right.
these three had a special circumstance in which they didn't. But
Okay.
the bodies are still there for your example.
So we hide the bodies of the Araneas, and we make an example of the cultists, air quotes.
Do you want to hide a body?
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a thing, right? Anyone comes by at least is left with more questions than answers, and at least doesn't immediately, point us out as a possible invading force.
True.
I don't know. So yeah, I'll take like one of the Araneas' swords and like put it in the chest of one of the cultists, and then like lean that one up against under this little sign I've made, which I'll
Sure.
totally do a forgery check if you want me to, John.
Yeah, why not? Let's get you rolling some dice.
Yeah.
Forgery.
Thank you, forgery kit.
With all your passives, you don't have a whole lot to roll these days, so let's get you rolling some.
But I want to roll, John. I want to roll. I just also want to know everything all the time. Sorry. 24 forgery
Oh,
kit.
yeah.
Big,
perfect.
gnarled letters with just a hint of like the seductive curl on the end of them.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, most important looking cultist, sword through the chest, leaned up against the tree, tacked the little note up on the tree above it. This seems like a good idea to me, but if everyone else thinks I'm just fucking playing with my food, then I'll stop.
Seems legit.
Okay.
Yeah. Sunny's over in the corner nodding. She's like, yeah, works for me.
Yeah, no, the only loose end on this face value wise is we need to get rid of these bodies. And I point to the Araneses. I'm like, we need to hide these or bury them or something.
Yeah, sure. Any tricks anybody got? I mean, I'm sure we could drag them off into the woods or whatever, but
Can we light them on fire?
I mean, I think that fire might not be the way to go. I mean, Yusuf, if you moonbeamed them do you have another one of those in you before we go to bed? And we could just cook them?
Maybe?
I mean, I feel like the fire's not gonna work with them because fire.
I don't know that a round is going to be enough to get rid of them.
I mean, pigs. We used to keep infernal pigs. Did y'all ever? We had like a whole floor of the tower. No? Okay.
Interesting fact.
All right. No. All right. Well, when in doubt, drag them into the woods, I guess.
Hey, Sonny, do you have any way to move Earth quickly? A less drastic version of what we did to hide the plate? Just dig a hole and throw them in and cover it over?
Nothing so great right now. Nothing that would send them in. We could always stuff them in the tree. That might take a little work, but or I mean, if we're only gonna be here all night, we could just stuff them in a tent somewhere and cover it up. It's not gonna pass serious scrutiny, but who's gonna look in the corner of this camp between tonight and tomorrow?
Sure. I would at least maybe drag them out into the woods a bit. Try to find a spot for him.
John, I'll run up the rock face here and see if there's any like pits or anything inside the rocks that, unless you were flying over, you wouldn't be able to see into. Like it's like a natural, I don't know, divot or something in the stone that we could just dump the bodies in.
Sure. I would say for this roll, an investigation.
I'll help.
Yeah, thank you. Investigation is, hey, I got a +1 in it now.
I mean, I rolled a natural 1, but that makes a 10. So
True. Well, I got a 4, so guessing we don't find anything.
It's not so much that. You do eventually find something, someplace. It just takes you maybe about a good 40 minutes to do so. And yeah, there are enough. You start to get to a spot where there are enough areas where the rock overhangs and that there is some loose ground underneath to where you could actually shove the bodies. You find 2 spots. One can only fit maybe one of the smaller Araneses, and the other one can fit maybe 2 of them. So you have to get a little bit creative with the knife, cutting and like shoving them in there. But there's no way that anyone at night or in the day, early parts of the day, could actually see that unless they did a very serious low swoop with like a bird or scrying or something like that.
Okay.
done and done. So there was nothing interesting when we looked around through the body of the giant skeleton there, the dragon-y looking thing.
I don't think you guys actually looked.
Yeah, I mean, once the bodies are done, because the next thing, I mean, I want to toss the camp a bit more, figure out what the fuck these big statues are, and this giant dead thing. And I don't know, the big question is, do we stay here and rest, or do we go forward a bit before we do?
My vote is to move before we camp down.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, we also have this this other little map we found. I mean, if I'm looking at it, I'm trying to orient myself. I'm guessing the squiggly bits are the water. Now, is that the southern water or is that the northern water where we came from? I mean, does this look like a dwarven delve? I mean, these big statues, those are they dwarf statues, John? At the door at the south end?
Yeah, you as you look at them on closer inspection, they're pretty huge, and a lot of the features have sanded away over time, but there's a construction around the base that gives off a dwarven look to it. Yeah, Feder, you get the sense after looking at those statues, the door, and kind of orienting yourself that your initial thought was right, that the squiggly lines are the southern waters, and you guys are facing toward the south, toward Dwarendelf.
Okay. Right, well, I wish Lisa was here to help me pick around this body, but whatever. And I'll just start kind of poking at it.
The body of the skeleton of the dragon?
Yeah.
The key thing you note, because there's nothing else hidden in there other than dirt and debris and junk, detritus from just loosened rock, but the bones themselves are still hard and blackened over with time or something, and extremely hard, and they feel extremely dense.
I'll go over and help him look through this dragon bones.
Is there a tooth or a claw that I can take that I could try to fashion into a dagger, perhaps?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Look, I have one special dagger. We're 60 episodes in. I have one special dagger that I started the campaign with.
Honestly, Feder, with a little bit of time and a couple of rolls just for speed of it,
yeah,
you could fashion quite a few. The bones are pretty big, and the material, even though it is hard and solid and dense, it's not impenetrable. You can still shave through it. It just takes a little bit of work.
I will take enough and I want at least two. If I could have a matching set of dragon claw daggers, that seems fun. That seems like a thing I'd like. So I will happily do whatever I need to do to make these dreams come true.
Let's see. I would have you roll then, in this case, I guess survival.
Okay.
Because you would be using elements of nature, animals to fashion a survival tool of some kind. So if anyone wants to help him, they can.
I will help him, considering, like, that's shit that I used to do.
Yeah, I would say, as opposed to taking the advantage, I will let you roll separately on that, I think.
Oh, okay.
If you want to work on one and I'll work on the other. You've done this before, Taz, yeah?
Yeah. I'll handle one and give you pointers on the other. See how you do.
Okay. All right, not bad. It's a 15.
15? Okay, yeah, it just takes you a good part of an hour, Feder, yourself to get through that. And with Tazlin helping, it does give you a leg up, keeps it from being about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, her help in this, unless she rolls abysmally.
Got an 18.
Oh, yeah. If anything, you could probably shave 10 minutes off that hour and be like 50 minutes and be about right.
Oh, boy.
Hey, they're dense.
Fantastic.
And while you guys are doing that, you do see Sunny is trying to pull just a random piece of tooth, just something for a memento, not necessarily for function, but for aesthetic.
Oh, boy.
And she's doing fine with that. It's just taking her a little while.
John, you let me know if these things do anything fun or special. I'm just going to add 2 dragon claw daggers. Sorry to throw this at you in the middle of everything.
I'm gonna just, as we're finishing it up, I kind of show him different ways of, like, don't stab anybody this way because then you're gonna chip it. So you want to stab this way, so that way you go like with the strength of the sinew,
Sure.
the bone, and
Okay.
and this is the best way to make sure that they last the longest.
All right. Cool. Fun. Very decorative.
Go for fleshy bits, not hard bits, obviously.
So we've staged a crime scene, gotten rid of some bodies. I have some new toys. All very exciting. Do we want to fucking go forward through the big doors and then try to find a place to fucking crash out? Or do we want to, I don't know. Does anyone need the benefits of what you'd call perhaps a short rest out of all of this? And then we keep moving, or are we all feeling tapped? Sorry, I don't have like tricks I need to get back.
Sunny mentions to you guys as you're talking about that, oh yeah, some of the druid stuff that I lost in my exchange, I get back in the morning. So
Yusuf walks over. He's like, yeah, no, I think we should probably rest.
All right. Well, best just stay out of sight in the tents and carts here and keep a watch. Or do we want to get, a bit away from here along the road? Maybe backtrack a little? What do you think?
Well, John, does it look like they were going to enter in this way, or is this like a wayside as they were moving along the mountain?
it looks like they were going to head into the mountain from here. You just caught up to them as they were resting before they moved forward. The pace, judging from how you caught up with them so quickly, looks like they were being very leisurely. So they got here, they decided not to go in just yet. So they're expected, but not necessarily like they're not here. It's been an hour.
So theoretically, if we came up behind them and we killed the retinue that was behind them, then we'd only really have to worry about people coming out of those doors, right? And not necessarily coming from the northern side of the gates. Theoretically. I mean, we may have taken out anyone else that would disturb us.
That is true. And if that's the case, maybe we are better waiting out here.
Yeah, just take a tent,
I mean, I was going to say we go inside and crash inside the door, but...
That sounds like a horrible idea.
I mean, we know if no one minds the smell of slowly rotting meat, which I certainly don't, let's just fucking pick a tent, bunk down, hot racket, and try to get the fuck out of here.
That's fair.
I'll happily take the first watch, since it's a bit more pertinent that you guys get your tricks back.
I walk over to the tent that's behind the dragon bones.
You can tell that's the Aranese tent because it's nicer and it's a bit more spacious than all the other tents too. It's a little bit more adorned.
Yeah, I was going to say we can probably all fit in here nicely.
Right on. Well, I'm going to hop up in the tree for a minute and take first watch then. And I'll find a good perch where I can kind of see everything. Mostly focused towards the door. And then roll a smoke, take a drink, and then, hunker down.
Cool.
Rock, paper, scissors for who goes next, Yusuf?
I mean, what time is it right now, John?
It's like 1 a.m.
Yeah, a little past 1 a.m. So, well, given the burying the bodies, it's probably closer to 2.
Okay.
Did we bury the bodies or did we throw them in one of the tents?
No, we went and found a crag to throw them in.
Okay.
Do you want the last shift? If not, I'll take it.
I don't care.
Okay. You take next. Then I'll take last.
Sounds good.
And yeah, Feder, your perception is pretty great, and investigation is pretty great. I guess, if anything, I would say just roll a 20 for focus. Let's make you roll something anyways. You're going to see whatever's coming, but let's do something for distractions for your watch.
Okay. 13 plus 9 is 22.
You're pretty laser focused, and your watch goes by without incident. You don't even hear any animals out in the wild. At a certain point, there's the kind of the light noise of bugs, but other than that, you don't hear any cracking of twigs, moving of stone, rocking of rubble, and things like that. And almost kind of boring. It tries your focus a little bit, but man, this was an A+ watching session.
Fantastic. I'll wake up the next. Who's next? Wake up.
That's me.
All right. Good luck out there.
So whoever's next, roll both a perception and for this a focus.
Oh, focus. What do you want for focus?
Just a d20. You can add.
15.
Yeah, you're good.
I got a 6.
6 on the focus.
Yeah.
Okay. It was hard for you to keep on task during your watch, but there wasn't enough of anything to really be a surprise. There's no noise. You don't see anything. You hear the occasional bug, and on your watch, you see the random raven fly by, and you get a sense that every now and then, like, am I being watched by the Raven Queen?
Totally am.
Yep. But it's a matter of just staying on task. You do feel the weight of the boredom of a watch that is uneventful.
My nose is too into the books.
And you feel close. You're starting to get some ideas that maybe might inspire you in a certain way to maybe make a light bulb click. But then, it's time to wake Yusuf up for his watch.
I'll go tickle his little tail. I clamp his nose shut.
Oh, that's just mean.
Huh. It's art imitating life, ladies and gentlemen. He gets up, kind of shakes his head.
It's your turn.
Thanks. Thank you. Sorry. And he gets up.
So then, roll perception, and then we'll roll that focus just so you can have something to either keep on task or have issues.
17 perception, and my focus was a 9.
Yeah, you had a better time keeping on task with your watch. Again, nothing happened during your watch. It was pretty uneventful. It's as you guys initially thought. You guys came up on the back end of this troop, and right now it's just you guys out here, and no one's the wiser. Yeah, perfect night. You hear the bugs off in the distance, but man, it just you feel the tug of the boredom set in as your watch comes to the end, and yeah. Your watch is done. So then the new day hits and sees you all well. And in fact, those of you, as you go to sleep, it is probably the best sleep you've had in a while in that it's empty, free from any vague prophecy, and just a genuinely deep and good slumber without any bullshit strings attached to it.
Fantastic. John, there were I think you already asked this last session, sorry, there were no short bows here, right? It was all long bows?
Yep.
Right, it was all long bows because you couldn't quite, you were fine with it, but it wasn't what you remember.
You were pretty upset about it.
Now that I have my new dragon daggers, I think I'm going to leave the bow. Unless anyone want one of these bows? I thought about it, but maybe I'll grab a short bow if I ever run across one.
What kind is it?
It's a fucking longbow.
Just a standard longbow, yeah.
I mean, it's a 1d12, but it's...
I'll take it. Actually, I will take it because they were flinging arrows at me from up in the air and I couldn't get to them. I need to be able to fly. I think that's my next thing.
Yeah, you should grab one. I mean, it's nice. It's just not quite my thing. It's a little heavy for my tastes. All right, so I will hand that over to Drew and take it out of my inventory. And then, all right, deep into the mountain. Now,
Crystal ball time.
Oh, yes. Let's do that. Do we want to... Fuck. I wish we had any clue who is at the fucking top of this goddamn mountain.
Roll for spoilers?
Yeah, roll for members of my family.
You said it's a longbow. It's a D8, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then how many arrows are laying around, John?
Ones that are still usable. I'd say maybe about a dozen.
Okay, 12. Got it.
I mean, I know I said that jokingly, but we could kind of theoretically see. I'm not sure who necessarily. Trying to run down through all of them. I think Fee is at court, and fucking what's her name's with your brother, and maybe Parsifal. Hard to say. Anyway, yeah, you should do what you should do, and yeah.
Yeah, and while she's doing that, those of you who woke up, you do smell food being cooked on a fire, the campfire out there. Sonny had found some food and some meat, and is just putting it together. Maybe not the most finessed thing for food, but with enough salt and enough seasoning just tossed in there, it'll do the trick.
And I'll put some coffee on too.
She watches intently as you do that because she does not know what you are doing and is very interested.
Bean water.
All right, cool.
All right, Tazlin. Let's get these rolls going here.
So, just as a reminder, Daddy Dearest gets a -15, and Little Thing gets a +5.
Okay, well I rolled natural 2 for both, so you're getting some visions.
Little Thing has been resisting a lot, so it'll be the first time that I'll have something for him in a while.
The smoke from the crystal ball starts to clear, and you see, standing in an alley, is Cheshire, presumably still in Sky Point, and you see that he is the proud owner of a new starry robe.
Oh, fucking hell.
The one you've seen before in prior visions. He pokes his head out from the alley and tries to see if anyone has followed him or is paying attention. And it takes a bit, and you're just staring at him, staring daggers at him as he's looking, like, what the fuck did you do? And when he determines that all is clear, you see him tighten his newfound robe around himself and blink out of existence, kicking you from the vision much more abruptly than anything you've ever experienced. Maybe at the tower when you were kicked out.
Son of a bitch, he told you not to take it. Why the fuck did you have to take it? Ugh.
He is a shit, isn't he?
Take what? Who's taking what?
You okay? What's going on?
My dearest father decided to steal, something that he probably shouldn't have.
Okay.
Fun.
Specifically when he was told not to take it. And then he took it.
I mean, that's usually what stealing entails.
Well, I mean, he asked first,
All right.
but
Does he still seem to be in Sky Point?
oh no, he's gone. He's not in Sky Point anymore. I don't know where he is.
Brilliant.
And then, yeah, the next vision for Little Thing, the clouds swirl around again as it reorients and tries to refocus the connection from being severed earlier. And you open in on a ballroom, a very lavish and large ballroom, and very well decorated. You see off to the side servants standing at attention, and a couple. The room is still very sparse. And in the middle, you see dancing in a pattern. You see Fee with King Lugarius. They're doing laps in a sort of dance formation, and after a little while, you sense, whether it's from him stumbling and her correcting and getting very authoritative about it, that he is learning how to dance, and Fee is teaching him, and he looks very put out. Like, it is a John Noble type scowl, Denethor scowl on his face. And a few of the guards nearby have their hands on their weapons because they don't like this closeness, like 6 feet, but you can't when you're dancing. And Fee is having the time of her life, and she's just getting into it, like back straight and moving around, and even so far as to stomping on his toe if he's got it in the wrong place. It's like, you lead, you're a leader, and just really getting into the more playful nipping at him. Again, that's causing great consternation to the guards, but when you're wondering, like, why am I only seeing them? Almost as if in, like, you see someone running in front of the camera, you see now Little Thing running in circles in this ballroom, just really getting a kick out of the fact that there is no walls for many, many feet, and just running and running. And he looks pretty fancy, pretty dapper, and very nice royal wear. And that's your vision.
Okay. Well, he's living a life.
Who of my family did you see there?
Fee.
Fee's still at court, then.
Oh, yes. She was teaching the king how to dance in a very undiscerning way.
King Lugarius. Mm-hmm. She was dancing with the king of the Dominion.
Indeed. Stomping on his feet when he misstep and everything.
Jesus. Oh, I bet she's fucking loving it. Well, that's weird. Okay. Fun.
Feder, you can't believe it. Like,
Yeah.
what is up with Fee? And that's always been the case with Fee.
But no Igni?
No Igni, just Fee and Little Thing.
Interesting. Well,
I can look for Igni if you want.
No. Let's save it for... I mean, we have plenty of things to do, right? Big giant hole to walk towards. I mean, Yusuf, theoretically, we're going to head south towards Fallhold, whatever that means, and then maybe head towards your Titan, right? That's what your god would like us to do?
He kind of gives a annoyed look when you say his god, and he's like, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what she's wanting, so I guess we'll head that way.
I mean, at this point, right, we've disrupted the construction of whatever this modern siphon is, and if it's a beefed up version of the altar, then good. We've at least slowed them down. So at this point, it's largely about finding out what the fuck's going on and accomplishing any other, tasks at hand, right?
Yep.
All right, well, onward, I suppose. Sonny, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm ready when you are.
All right. Well, no time like the present, I suppose, as he says as he kind of finishes his coffee.
What is that you're drinking, by the way?
Oh, the bean water. Yeah.
And it's coffee. You take some beans, grind them up, hot water, and steep it, percolate it. It's good. Wakes you up. Invigorating.
It has some properties that energize.
Yeah. Give you a nice little jolt.
Oh, I'm into that. I may take you up on it.
Yeah. Try a cup. Let's go.
She quickly does, and without much discerning, just downs it. And you don't see her seem to be affected by it. Mm-hmm. Where someone who might chug a whole coffee might be like, ouch.
Yeah.
She just kind of like, oh, that's a bit bitter. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Was this dead dragon perchance named Folgers and having some Folgers in our cup?
Instant dragon. Yes.
Nina, that one was for you. I hope you enjoy that.
And so, yeah, the day is yours to head on in. You can see from where you guys are standing right around the camp on that southern end that the door, the massive stone door, is open, maybe enough for people of your size to get in. Medium size, nothing large or anything, without actually pulling it open a bit. As you pass through the giant stone doors into this musty beyond of the cave, your eyes quickly adjust to the dim light, and you see a smaller corridor, the walls of which are lined with wall sculptures that have frankly seen better days. What remains there suggests a dwarven design, and now that you have that map that says Dwarendalf, it's all like, okay, this is going to be very on the nose about dwarven design and whatchamacallit. You also notice a few smaller alcoves further down with destroyed statues along the way that didn't survive. And you guys can just see beyond your view there that the corridor opens out into a larger cavern, and you also notice that the pathway before you starts to thin into a narrow bridge of some kind. And beyond there, you see a little bit of light emanating from below, but can't quite discern what the source of that is. And that's where you guys are right now.
Right. Interesting.
I'm going to draw my sword just so it's out and the aura is protecting us.
Well, I'm happy to kind of sneak ahead a bit. I mean, how do you feel? Do we want a bird at all? I go left, it goes right. I mean, I'm happy just to kind of do a lap if you guys want to just stay here for a minute and see what I find.
Sure. Sounds like a fine plan.
Okay. So I will, a little bit more classic sneaky sneak as opposed to just like Assassin's Creed style. I will try to, I think I'm going to go kind of left first and try to see how far I go into this room before,
Okay, Feder, for you, you get about 5 feet first, and something doesn't strikes you as not quite right given your perception.
Right.
And it's the two. So if you're standing, I'm going to move you down. If you're standing about 5 feet further down, you get about there. You see that two of the wall sculptures on either side seem a little different, a little off. They don't quite match the dwarven design of the others in the pattern along the wall.
Right.
They seem a little less worn down, a little bit more tidy, less dusty.
All right.
And they just strike you as a little off.
Right. So hand up, like SWAT team style, and I want to check for traps in this around us. Weird triggering mechanisms in the floor, etc., etc. 18 on the die means 27. Yes.
27?
Yeah.
It's nothing is trapped like a mechanism, but you do notice slats that are big enough for perception, someone to look through.
Right.
And Feder, as you kind of do your thing, you do notice on the one to the west. You notice that someone, you hear the breathing first,
right?
But then you see a little bit of movement in the dark, and it looks like someone is waiting.
Okay. I'm gonna again, like Navy SEALs, hand signals. Be like, so I think that this is what behind the statue, John? Sorry, I'm trying to get the mental picture of this.
Yeah, so imagine, if you will, a fake stone wall, or not a fake stone wall, but a wall that is put in place with a slat for you to either shoot maybe an arrow through, or in this case,
right,
something to be able to at least see something coming.
They could either fire out from behind or leap out from behind. All right, so do I get the sense that if I see through to them, can I get the sense that they can see me at the moment?
From where you are, not just yet.
All right, so kind of hand signals. I'm going to be like, look, and then I'm going to point at the slit, and then I'm going to point at the other one and go the slit, and I'm going to do a little like, I think there's archers. To Tazlin and Yusuf, and just kind of, I guess I'll come back and be like, look, there's people there. I think behind there's little either trapdoors or slats or something, keeping watch. So, I don't know. I could go up and address them. I could probably disguise myself as one of the cultists, or perhaps even the Aranyes. I don't know. What do you want me to do? What do you think? Or we could just fucking kill him.
I feel like I like the disguise option the best. Cultist, maybe?
Cultist or the Aaron? Yes. What do you think?
Aaron, yes.
All right. Cool. Give me a second. All right. So I will use my disguise self. Tricks. And I will try to very plainly walk into view. And I'm going to go as not the purple, maybe the red of the Aaron, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you got the sense that the purple one was a bit more higher up on that 3.
Yeah, I don't want to go the whole way up to the top. I want to get a little down the food chain. I'm going to walk up and kind of rap on the wall.
Okay.
And I'm going to say in common with a little bit of an accent, what news from Fallhold?
The cultist now that you're looking through, you can see it is just a standard old cultist. This one a little bit more ornate robe, so they're more of a fanatical one. And they don't have. You just notice immediately they don't have any bows or arrows with them, so you get the sense that they were preparing a spell, or they have a spell prepared or something to try and waylay.
Oh, be like, is this a code check?
Code check or a means to like.
Yeah. I'm going to
stop you right there and.
Do I give you a ticket? Do I tip? I never know. Do I tip you? I never know how this works.
They seem surprised to see you, but they quickly recover. Not in the Fallhold just yet. We're still waiting to get all the pieces that we need, and still waiting for stuff from the north. Are you guys from the north? We heard some commotion out there. I guess the party's arrived.
Yeah, we're all here. There's a couple of goddamn beasts out there. Weird, but we took care of them. No big deal.
Good.
So I don't know. Do we good? Do we keep going? Like, what do we do? Are we waiting for everybody else to show up, or what's your deal? What's your name?
Sven. I can tell my guy here to head on and let the boss know that you have visitors, or and then you guys can start bringing in some stuff. I'm sure they would be happy for the items they've requested, the items they're expecting, that sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Let Sven know we've got we got both plates and the Modron core, and
oh, okay.
We're gonna just kind of finish up out there a little bit, and we'll probably come back through this afternoon.
Yeah, perfect. I'll send one of our guys in the corridor back here to let the boss know,
and I want to be behind, with my backhand, just trying to wave them all out the door, just leave, or hide, some sort of get down signal to everybody else.
The urge to start singing "Reindeer Are Better Than People" is incredibly strong right now.
That's what you get when your DM is meat and potatoes Midwestern fella.
I got a perception of an 11. Do I see his hand signals?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of start backing up, tell Gallahan to move back out the door.
I was going to say, I got a perception of 22. I saw them for sure.
Yeah, so I'll try to just take up as much space as I can as he walks across. If he's looking like he's going to walk across to talk to the other guy, I just want to kind of, try to stay between his eye line and the group behind me.
Yeah.
I start shoving Sunny out the door.
Okay, yeah, and she rolled well, so she's backing up oh yeah, okay. You see Feder, the guard there at the station, motion somewhere, and you see a cultist pop out from a corridor down there, that part where the wall opens. You didn't realize that there was actually a passage there because you were just looking straight on, but guess there was. And the cultist that pops out doesn't look at your direction. He just immediately runs out, does an about face, and turns and starts heading down that path. And you lose them a bit in the dim light as they start heading off to do what they were asked to do, to just let them know that the cultists have arrived with all the materials and stuff. And you see a hand pop through with just a thumbs up of the hole. It's all right, you're good. Just wait, and we'll summon you in. Take all the time you need.
So, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but your ale tastes like a wet Fearborg's behind after a day-long trek through the Fishta swampland. I think I might need to take a break and come back with my own brew. Anyway, I'll be back soon to recount our hero's meeting with this particularly nasty devil here in these Demon Dayz.
Demon Dayz, session 10-3, Feather Trucks. Baby! Sorry, gang, but
Oh, no worries.
Oh, not your fault. I was kind of
right.
like, is there like some emotional crisis that's happening? You never know.
no,
in the
not at
world
all.
that-
I was
that is today.
I was just very lonely because I'd been sitting there for an hour by myself. No. All right.
Okay.
I am speeding.
All right, everyone's
Speeding?
Everyone's speeding.
Yep.
All right, I'll do a countdown. It'll be 3, 2, 1, and then slap.
Okay.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, and slap. Perfect. I clapped in front of my microphone, but I'll still be able to hear it on my end. But I should have done it like right here. Okay.
It sounded dirty.
Yeah, it did. It's getting all dirty up in here. All right.
I feel like I'm getting a cold because my throat has been a little bit hurty and my nose has been a little bit runny, and I've been like super fatigued the past couple of days. And so right now I just have my mother in my head going, I can hear you sniffle. Go blow your nose. I can hear you sniffle.
So that'll be me in the edit.
Yeah, I apologize in advance for all the little that you're gonna have to like cut out. As Drew yawns. Okay, so I didn't. Oh, Kobold, be quiet.
Dog.
Kobold, do you need to go to the bedroom?
The kobold is like, I got a 16 on wine.
On stuff.
As a DM, I don't get any stats, so we'll move on from that.
You've got all the stats. You've got every block, John. Don't
Yeah.
pout at us like you
It's-
don't
it's-
have literally everything at your fingertips.
I just wanted to feel special too. Yes.
My perception.
Oh my god.
Do I need to go back in there and slap you again? Like genuinely slap you to wake you
Shut
up?
up. I'm trying to talk. Be quiet. It's my turn.
Come on, no. Ugh.
No, you made everyone else yawn.
Guys, I'm the absolute worst. I just bought Rise of Tiamat on D&D Beyond just to have access to the Dragon Tooth Dagger item. Those bastards, those capitalist bastards. Also, Wizards, please sponsor us. We're happy to do it. We'll happily do it. With D&D Beyond, it's never been easier. But John, it looks like a 1+1, and it does some acid damage. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like a thing?
Sure, why not?
Fantastic. I just want toys, John.
Yeah.
You can happily look at it later and take them away.
Oh, no, I like giving toys, so it's a match made in heaven.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, if anything, rolling for all that gear at the tower should have hinted you guys in. I like giving toys, regardless of game breaking or not.
Fantastic. Oh
Ladies
boy.
and gentlemen, in these COVID times, if you sneeze, please sneeze into your elbow or away from other people, just like I did.
Yeah. Or directly into your microphone and then sell it as some sort of ASMR in your OnlyFans. All right. Cool.
Speaking of ASMR, sorry, my brain train is lagging behind a little bit. Drew just experienced the wonders of ASMR and that whole reality. What was it, yesterday, babe?
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before. There's a girl on Twitch that has like 1.7 million followers, and she does ASMR the whole time. And they were like, I just saw her on again today, and she was pulling like 3K plus viewership. It was insane.
Just to like slowly brush her hair next to the microphone.
No, she had a cloth draped over it, and she was just slowly like
just rubbing
petting
it.
the cloth on either side.
Fantastic.
I mean, the girl's beautiful, so obviously that has something to do with it. But like,
right.
And at one point, she pulled out like a headband, like a little kitty ear headband, and it was just like rubbing the headband against the microphone.
God, what is going on?
God bless.
There was one I found that had someone was doing Linda from Bob's Burgers and just taking someone's taking someone's order, yours or the viewer, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy that nearly as much as I did.
Jesus, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
I would listen to somebody just doing the what is it? Tina's being like,
quality audio.